Hello, everyone. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video tonight on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful evening wherever you are in this great world. We're going to talk about XRP. And I got to start with this. JP Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon says he's starting to see parallels to the era before the 2008 financial crisis. And I don't think he's wrong. I think we're already in a recession. And maybe it has something to do with this right here. 63 U.S. banks on the brink of collapse with $517 billion in losses. And this comes from the FDIC. Remember, the FDIC not so long ago was talking about bail-ins. If a handful of banks were to collapse right now, the FDIC does not have enough money to make you whole. So that's when the bank locks the doors and shuts off the ATM, and your money is now bailed in at the bank. But we know that the banks are going to collapse. We've been warned of this for a while now. And think about it like this. They're all facing a liquidity crisis, and you're holding a cryptocurrency that delivers on-demand liquidity. You don't need to be a rocket scientist to see where this goes from here. Google searches for can't sell house just hit an all-time high. Higher than 2008, higher than COVID, higher than anything we've ever seen. We all know what that means. I'm telling you now, house prices are about to start to come down. And it's going to coincide with XRP going on a parabolic run. So if you want to buy your first house by cashing out your XRP, you might be getting a very cheap house very soon. But you know why people can't sell houses? Because they bought the house 6 months ago, did very little work on that house, and now they want to charge double for it. And people aren't falling for it anymore. Plus, who could buy a house at those prices? Most people are already priced out of buying a house already. Something has to give. And the CEO of McDonald's says, we now live in a two-tier economy. Take a listen to this.
And part of what we also saw was that, particularly with middle and lower income consumers, they're feeling under a lot of pressure right now. I think there's a lot of commentary about what's the state of the economy, how's it doing, and what we see is it's really kind of a two-tier economy. If you're upper income, earning over $100,000, things are good. The stock markets are near all-time highs. You're feeling, quite confident about things. You're seeing international travel, all those barometers of upper income consumers are doing quite well. What we see with middle and lower income consumers is actually a different story. It's that consumers under a lot of pressure in our industry. Traffic for lower income consumers is down double digits. And it's because people are either choosing to skip a meal. So we're seeing breakfast. People are actually skipping breakfast, or they're choosing to just eat at home. And so for our business,
maybe people just don't want to eat McDonald's anymore. I mean, look at the prices of McDonald's to begin with. You could eat much healthier by eating at home, and you could do it with less money. But he's not wrong. We're in a two-tier world now. There's rich and then there's poor. The middle class, they've been getting wiped out for years now, and the middle class is almost gone. And that's why you have to invest in something if you want to stay ahead. If you don't invest in anything, eventually you are going to end up on universal basic income, because that's what's coming next. That's why you need to stay invested in something like XRP. Max Avery says, selling XRP to take profits could be the most expensive move you make. You trigger a 15 to 37% tax hit and lose the asset. Then you have to time your re-entry perfectly. which almost nobody does. Or you borrow against it. No tax event. You still hold your XRP, spend the cash on whatever you want. Why would you pick the first option? Because borrowing against your XRP, you could also get liquidated and lose all your XRP anyway by borrowing against it. But he is right. Taking profits, you're still going to be on the hook for the capital gains. You have to have your own game plan. There's nothing wrong with taking profit, but I would never, ever sell my entire bag. And here's the options that are starting to pop up with borrowing against your XRP. So you see, this post is sponsored by Lantern Finance. So he's paid to post this post. Right now is one of the best times to take out a crypto-backed loan. Lower margin call risk, healthier loan position. You can use your crypto without having to sell it while minimizing your downside risk. Right now, Lantern is offering a 1-month interest-free promo that ends on 2/28, so the end of the month. But look at this annual percentage rate, 15% interest. So would you take out a loan against your XRP with 15% interest? And it's showing you what you're going to pay per month. But there's also an upfront fee of $20. And I didn't look really into this, but I'm sure there's a chance you would get liquidated if the price of XRP was to drop even more. Now, if the price of XRP goes up, then that's different. But this is risky, in my opinion, and who would want to pay 15% interest? You could get a better loan at a bank at a lower interest rate than that. But this is just the beginning. You're going to see a lot of other options open up. I think with institutional adoption, the options are going to get a lot better and a lot less risky at the same time. And then there's this. U.S. lender launches RateFi. Crypto now counts towards your mortgage. Rate has officially launched RateFi, a new home loan product that allows borrowers to use verified crypto holdings to qualify for a mortgage without selling them. But I thought Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac were already doing this. But we know you could use your crypto as collateral to get a mortgage as well. Here's the way I look at it. Those options are going to get better over time also. And you got to weigh what you want to do with your XRP. Me personally, I think borrowing against it is a great idea, but you have to get better interest rates and you have to have some sort of safeguard in place so you don't end up getting liquidated. That will come later, in my opinion. U.S. Treasury debt on XRP closes in on $300 million in total value. So the total value of the U.S. Treasury debt hosted in the XRP ledger ecosystem now closes in on $300 million. And this got me thinking, because I'm thinking that the XRP ledger, at some point, it would capture at least 10% of that. Right? So if 10% of the U.S. debt was to become tokenized on the XRP ledger, the price of XRP would be at $63.52. That's just 10%. Now, I think we're going to see the debt be tokenized very soon. I'm saying like all of the U.S. debt is going to become a tokenized asset. On chain as well. So I'm thinking the XRP ledger would most likely capture more like 50% of the U.S. debt. Now, the U.S. debt continues to rise at the same time. So this would essentially get you to 589 per XRP. And this is just the U.S. debt. Then you start looking at real estate and tokenized gold and all kinds of other assets and things of value being tokenized on the XRP ledger. This is how you get to those 4- and 5-digit price points for XRP. And I think this is going to happen sooner than later. Everybody's always pointing at 2030. I think most of this tokenization, once we get regulations, tokenization is going to go through the roof. And you're going to see so many assets onboarding on a daily basis. Look at RChax, $30 to $50 trillion alone they want to bring to the XRP ledger. Then you look beyond that. Franklin Templeton wants to do a lot. BlackRock wants to do a lot. The World Economic Forum, they're talking about $867 trillion by 2030. So imagine $500 trillion over the course of probably the next 2 years. Because this, once it gains momentum, it's going to be like that snowball effect. It's going to gain more and more momentum month after month, year after year. But this is how you could possibly get to just 589, just half of the U.S. debt coming onto the ledger. SBI's XRP-backed bond innovation adds fuel to Ripple's XRP $10 rebound narrative. Then you got to look at other countries, what they're going to bring on to the XRP ledger as well. Right now, everything is just starting to grow. It's like we're still early, and this is why I always tell people, now's the time you want to buy XRP. You want to buy as cheap as you possibly can so you can cash in on this later. You don't want to be buying halfway up green candles later. And even if you already hold XRP, you don't want to have any regrets later, knowing you could have bought even more, but just didn't. This is the opportunity now. This opportunity is not going to be here for much longer. And then there's this clip, and Elon Musk gathered a lot of new followers off of this. Take a listen to what he says.
Yeah. Well, one side recommendation I have is don't worry about squirreling money away for retirement in 10 or 20 years. It won't matter.
No.
Okay.
Either we're not going to be here, or
it just you won't need to save for retirement. If any of the things that we've said are true, saving for retirement will be irrelevant.
the services will be there to support you. You'll have the home, you'll have the healthcare, you'll have the entertainment.
The way this unfolds is fundamentally impossible to predict because of self-improvement of the AI and the accelerating timeline.
Yeah, it's called singularity for a reason.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know what happens after the event horizon.
Exactly. You can never see past the black hole or the event horizon, the light cone.
I mean, Ray has the singularity out way too far. I mean, this is like the next, what's your timeline for this?
We're in the singularity.
Well, we are in the singularity, for sure.
Yeah.
We're in the midst of it right now, for sure.
Yeah.
And they would just
we're in this beautiful sweet spot, which is,
we're the roller coasters. We're just
exactly. That's a great analogy. It's like that feeling.
You're at the top of the roller coaster and you're about to go.
Yeah, but it's going to be a lot of G's when you
a lot of
when you
Gs.
hit it.
Yeah. It's like feel like I don't have to just have courtside seats. I'm on the court.
Exactly.
And it still blows my mind. Sometimes multiple times a week.
Yeah.
So just when I think I'm like, wow, and then it's like 2 days later, more wow.
Yeah.
He's talking about AI advancement and the timeline accelerating. And he's telling people don't worry about retirement because it's not going to matter. He's always also pushing the idea of universal high income. And to me, it just seems like a sales pitch. I would never risk it, but I'm an XRP investor, so I don't have to worry about this because I know XRP is going to retire all of us very soon because we're holding what his robots are going to be transacting in. And we're holding something that's going to be so damn valuable that we're never going to have to worry about CBDC. We're not going to have to worry about universal basic income. We're going to be the new 1%. But to tell people, like the normies out there, they eat this up. So Elon Musk says, I don't have to worry about retirement. I could just go spend all my money every single week, week over week, and not have anything to worry about. And I think that's really bad advice right now. I always tell people, just in case, make sure you're invested into something. You know, he is giving us the sales pitch for the advancement of AI, in my opinion. I think universal basic income is coming. I think universal high income is the sales pitch. That's just the way I feel about it. But everybody should be invested into crypto, because crypto is absolutely the future. And why gamble on what Elon Musk has to say? But, you know, again, all over X, everybody wants universal basic income as well. They're like, oh, just give me universal basic income so I don't have to do nothing all day. You know, it's going to make a lot of people just fall into this whole thing of, if I don't spend the money by the end of the month, the money's going to expire anyway. So people are just going to go out and spend money every single day until the universal basic income is gone, and then they'll just get their next allotment next month. But I think that everything is going to be taken out of that universal basic income even before you get it, like your energy usage, your food consumption. It's all going to be taken out before you get anything else. And you're only going to be able to buy certain things with that money. And if it's controlled, the government is giving it to you. So it's going to be controlled. So you're going to be forced to buy specific foods. You're going to be forced to buy specific items that you might need throughout the month. I just don't like the idea of it. And that's why I'm always going to be invested into something that's going to make us part of the new 1%. But until it all happens, stay patient, stay positive, and let's get rich together. With that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.